think the appeal of a comic, if you think about it, you're reading the story and you're also seeing the characters. It's another dimension that you don't get in an average printed novel. Now, some people say that's no good because you're not using your imagination. You should be reading the words and imagining what things look like. But I think the fallacy of that is you read a play by Shakespeare, and it's wonderful. But then you go to the theater at the Old Vic, and you see Hamlet, and that's wonderful too. Shakespeare wrote his plays to be seen. Now, would anybody say, oh, I wouldn't go to the theater to see a Shakespeare play? I mean, I want to use my imagination. That's ridiculous. Get away with it. It's what people want to read about. People, if you can do a story that touches upon a social issue, upon things that people are concerned about, then you've got a story that people will care about. So it's not a case of getting away with it. How do people get away with it if they don't write stories that touch on social issues? I've always been interested in advertising and catchphrases. In fact, when I changed the name of our company to Marvel some years ago, I loved the word Marvel because I could come up with expressions like, make mine Marvel, Marvel marches on, welcome to the Marvel age of comics, and things like that. I really should have not been a writer. I should have been an advertising man. That's what I really love. Oh, there'll be comics in so many different ways now that we're in the digital age. You'll get the motion comics, and there'll be an animation, and they'll be on the screen and on television and everywhere else, and on your telephone and on your cell phone. But I think there will still always be comic books because there's something about a comic book that's so nice. First of all, they don't weigh much. They're easy to carry. You can sort of fold it over a little bit and stick it in your back pocket. You can take it out of your pocket and show it to, hey, take a look at this. It's a great story. You can collect them. They don't take up much room. You can have 50 in a pile that size. You can have them autographed. You can't autograph a screen on a telephone. Well, for example, I loved the Galactus trilogy, as college kids referred to it, in the Fantastic Four. The 3 stories that introduced Galactus and the Silver Surfer to the Fantastic Four. I loved the story that was the origin of Spider-Man. I loved the story where Silver Surfer first appeared. I loved the Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos issue, where I introduced the world's first ethnically mixed platoon in fiction. We had a little platoon that consisted of an Italian, a Jewish fella, a black soldier, an English guy who probably was gay, and on and on. And nobody really had been doing that sort of thing before. I could go on and on. I wrote a lot of stories that were my favorites. In fact, now that I think of it, everything I wrote was my favorite.